Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Siboga TV, which is your number one online political channel. Today, I want to start by actually asking a question to you all. Which politician or which leader in this republic who you think that he is the best suited to take this country forward so that we can be out of the mess that we are facing as a country? Which leader do you want that to be? That is the first question I am asking to you. And please drop your comment about the leader who you think is the best suited to take this nation forward. Having answered that, I could tell you that in this nation, what we need for us to take this country forward is a leader who is very genuine, is a leader who is capable to perform, is a leader who is capable not to condone any nonsense, is a leader who puts the Kenyans forward before anything, is a leader who is able to acknowledge that a mistake has been done here, is a leader who is able to go to the public and ask for forgiveness. That is the leader actually we really need to have in this nation. And that is why today I want to give you my own view, because I've tried to look at all the political leaders in this nation. I've tried to look at William Samoei Arap Ruto. I've tried to look at Rigathi Gachagua. I've tried to look at Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. I've tried to look at Fred Okengo Matiang'I. I have tried to look at Eugene Wamalwa and several other leaders. But I have come to a conclusion that the leader we need to have in this nation is actually by the name of Fred Okengo Matiang'I, because I have reached a point of conclusion that if this man can become the leader of this nation, then this nation will actually move forward. And today I want to explain to you the reasons why I believe that he is the best leader. And when we add the agencies mass action across this nation, Fred Okengo Matiang'I never joined the Gen Zs. And actually, I wondered, why could Fred Okengo Matiang'I join the mass actions of the Gen Zs? But after thinking over and over about that, I came across the clip when Fred Okengo Matiang'I was trying to see that during that mass action, he was actually trying to look at what is happening across the nation. And Fred Okengo Matiang'I has actually come out clearly to speak about the Gen Zs and about the wrongs which are actually happening in this nation. And he has actually come out clearly to say that we need to form an inquiry about the wrongs that have been dwelling in this nation. And Fred Okengo Matiang'I actually made me to like him even more when he was saying that we need even to go behind and start talking about even Baby Bendo and start talking about the truth about River Yara. And as you know, many people have been associating Fred Okengo Matiang'I about River Yara. But Fred Okengo Matiang'I, at this moment, when things are thick and thin in this republic, when we have the so-called police brutality, Fred Okengo Matiang'I has come out and he has said clearly that we need to be truthful to ourselves. We need not to blame probably the government, but we need to know the truth. We don't need actually to mix politics with what is going in this nation. We need to put politics aside and sit as Kenyans and ask what is happening to our nation, and then have that inquiry where we will come forward and put things on the table so that the Kenyans can know the truth. That if we do that, that is the only thing which can make us to move forward. I want you to listen to this speech by Fred Okengo Matiang'I, and please listen to it carefully.
62 years after independence, we should not live like this. Where, you would rather do other things in your life than spend time on this. Therefore, as we condole with the families that lost their loved ones, and as we congratulate our young people for expressing themselves and coming out to ask questions about their lives and their future, it is very necessary that as a country we ask the question, how can we avoid this? The only way of doing this is being true to ourselves and being true to our responsibilities and to our mandates and doing the right thing for our country. In fact, I have asked my colleagues in the opposition, and I want to say it here today, that we shouldn't combine the information that is coming and the investigations to 2023, 2024 and 2025. Let's go back and have an open public inquest on everything that has happened before, because sometimes things happen, and when it's an opportune time, public inquest, so that everybody, because all of us, the Honorable Wamalwa and myself have served before on the National Security Council. We need to go before a magistrate or a judge in an open public inquest and put the facts we have there and put the information we have, and other role players also put the information they have. Because if we want to move forward, I don't think we have a future in this country without truthfulness and without focusing on what we need to do for our people. Because this cutting of corners, sometimes when something happens, we always enjoy politics, we blame others and so on and so forth. And then tomorrow we behave as if nothing happened. And then next year will come, we have another situation like this. Let's be open and transparent. Let's all go forward. And I want to ask all my colleagues, because we can't ask accountability of others when we are not accountable ourselves. Let us go and explain some of these things that have happened even before 2023, so that we can now move forward together as a country with all facts and everything that we had and resolved. And we can deal with the unresolved matters that have not been conclusively investigated. Whether we start with Musan, we come to Jakujuma, we come to Keneng, we come to River Yara and everything else. Let these things be investigated by an open public inquest, so that this is all the Twendembele. We explain and face the public on these issues, because some of these issues are raised and we keep this merry-go-round, where we are always telling stories only when they are we cannot have government by blogging. Let's focus on the issues that we need to deal with. Let us address the lives of our people, and this issue should be investigated. When this matter happened on the 25th of June last year, we ought to have had an open public inquest into this. It will have given the Gen Z an opportunity to express themselves, We should have answered the question that time, how did we get here? Parliament is 2 kilometers from State House. For the first time since 1962, Parliament was overrun. What happened? How did we get here? Who knew what? And why didn't we prevent it? Why were we so insensitive to the point that citizens had to get to that particular point and things had to go south in the manner in which they did? So, finally, we have swept too much under the carpet. It's now time to lift that carpet and be truthful in the way in which we deal with the country. Thank you.
After listening to that speech, what is really coming to your mind? To me, I feel that this is the man we need. The man who can come out and put things straight without actually involving politics in it. Because in this republic, if you look the way Rigathi Gachagua is coming forward and is trying to speak about the Gen Z's revolution or the Gen Z's mass action, sometimes you feel as if G is trying to use that moment to gain politically. He is not even looking at it that this is a problem we have and how can we solve it. But Fred Okengo Matiang'I is a person who has come out and he has said that we need to be people who give solutions to our problems. We need to give solutions to the Kenyans. We need to give hope to the Kenyans. And that is why Fred, in that clip, he has said that we need to come out truthfully before even 2027 presidential election. That in this nation, we need to form a truthful inquiry about what is devouring this nation. We need to come out. And he has said that he can also come out. Him and Eugene Momalo, they used to be in the Security Council during the Uhuru era. And that is the time, even we had things like Baby Bendo. That is the time we had even the Yara issue. And by Fred Okengo Matiang'I coming out strongly, even to talk about the Yara issue, it shows how serious Fred Okengo Matiang'I is. Because many people never thought that Fred Okengo Matiang'I was to reach a point when you could come out and talk about the so-called the Yara issue. But Matiang'I has said that he is ready to talk about that, making himself to be seen as a leader, to be seen as somebody who wants to give solutions about what is deviling our country. And if you had listened to that the speech is very genuine. That speech is coming from the heart. And as you know, Fred Okengo Matiang'I is a person who speaks with truthfulness, with something coming from deep his heart. And that is why I believe that Fred Okengo Matiang'I is quite different from other political leaders. Is quite different. He does not want to use this moment so that he can benefit politically. And actually, that's why he was not in the demos, the so-called Gen Z demos. And we can see clearly that this man called Fred Okengo Matiang'I is a true leader. He is a person who is a manager. And that is why he's addressing things in that way. And even Fred Okengo Matiang'I has said that what the Gen Zs are actually doing is actually very good and it is given in our constitution. But why should we go forward to demonstrate? Why should we want to ask for the truth? But in doing that, more youths are killed, more people get injured. At this age, when we have finished around, since when we got our independence in 1962, and he said that we should be doing better by now. We should not be actually be trying to get answers to those petty issues at this time. We should be thinking about how to industrialize our country. We should be thinking about those lines. We should be thinking about how can we create more job opportunity for our people instead of talking about police brutality, instead of talking about abductions. My fellow listeners, that speech of Fred Okengo Matiang'I has made me to think that actually Fred Okengo Matiang'I is the leader we need among those political leaders who are at the front. Because if you look at those political leaders at the front, most of them, they are blaming each other. They are not giving Kenyans how problems are being solved, how they can solve their problems, but they are engaging on blaming each other and trying to see how each can benefit from this political nonsense instead of actually coming up with answers about our problems. So I believe Fred Okengo Matiang'I, if given that chance to lead this country, then he is going to make a better president compared to other presidents we have been having. What do you think after listening to that speech of Fred Okengo Matiang'I? Did it give you a sense or a feel that Fred Okengo Matiang'I is the right leader we need to take this country forward? Please drop your comment in the comment section below. And if this is your first time to come into this YouTube channel, I request you kindly to take a minute or two and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Give this video a like, share the video to your friends. And if your friends are lovers of politics, it's good to request them for us to subscribe to this YouTube channel. And with that, I say thank you. May God bless you all abundantly until we meet in our next political discussion.